Welcome back to the channel, aviation enthusiasts. Today, we dive deep into the sky with a living legend, the MiG-23BN. Once feared across Cold War skies, this fighter-bomber, originally designed by the Soviet Union, is getting a surprising second life in 2026. Despite its age, the MiG-23BN still flies in several parts of the world, updated, reimagined, and respected. Buckle up as we explore the past, present, and future of this iconic swing-wing warrior. Rocket the MiG-23BN, a Cold War creation with firepower. The MiG-23BN is a ground attack version of the classic MiG-23 fighter aircraft, designed by McCoy and Gurevich. Its roots trace back to the 1960s, during the height of the Cold War. Built for strike missions, the BN Blizny Napadenie, close attack, variant was optimized for low-altitude attack runs, precision bombing, and anti-armor missions. What made the MiG-23BN stand out was its variable geometry wings, commonly known as swing wings. These allowed the aircraft to extend its wings for low-speed stability during takeoff and landing, and sweep them back for high-speed, supersonic flight. It was one of the few aircraft of its time that could adapt its aerodynamics mid-flight for different mission profiles. Wrench the 2026 revamp, a retro beast with modern teeth. Fast forward to 2026, a time when 5th and even 6th generation fighters dominate the skies. So, why is the MiG-23BN still relevant? In recent years, several air forces in the Middle East, Africa, and parts of Asia have invested in deep modernizations of their remaining MiG-23BN fleets. With the help of international contractors and defense electronics firms, the old airframes have been fitted with glass cockpits with multifunction digital displays, helmet-mounted targeting systems, GPS-aided navigation and strike capabilities, modern ECM electronic countermeasures suites, compatibility with precision-guided munitions, including laser-guided bombs and modern Russian and Chinese air-to-ground missiles. These upgrades make the MiG-23BN a surprisingly capable platform for counterinsurgency operations, border patrol, and fast-response air support, especially for nations that cannot afford newer jets like the Rafale, Su-57, or F-35. Movie camera inside the cockpit, rugged, yet transformed. Let's step inside the 2026 cockpit of an upgraded MiG-23BN. The first thing you'll notice is that the classic analog dials have mostly been replaced by a dual-screen digital interface, making flight data and targeting information more accessible. The throttle and stick layout is now HOTAS, hands-on throttle and stick, allowing pilots to manage multiple systems without taking their hands off the controls. The seat is now equipped with a modernized ejection system, improved ergonomics, and HUD heads-up display linked to a targeting pod system. Night vision support and infrared cameras now make it a viable night attacker, a far cry from its original 1970s limitations. Fire engine performance, still a beast at low altitudes. The MiG-23BN is powered by the Kachatarov R-29B300 turbojet engine, capable of producing nearly 28,000 pounds of thrust with afterburner. While not as efficient or quiet as modern turbofans, it still delivers a powerful kick. Top speed clocks in at Mach 1.6 at altitude, but the BN variant is more optimized for low-level, high-speed attack runs. In fact, it remains one of the fastest aircraft used for ground attack missions even in 2026. Range remains a concern, about 1,200 kilometers on internal fuel, but buddy tankers and ground support coordination help extend its reach in regional conflicts. Bomb armament, classic meets contemporary. Originally, the MiG-23BN could carry bombs, unguided rockets, and air-to-ground missiles. But in 2026, you'll find much more. Modern payloads under its hardpoints. KAB-500L laser-guided bombs. KH-29 TTV guided missiles. Plum for drop tanks and ECM pods. Modern R-73IR missiles for limited air-to-air self-defense. It retains its 23mm twin-barrel GSH-23L internal cannon, a brutal weapon for close and ground strafing. Globe current operators in 2026, the survivors. Despite its age, a few countries still operate the MiG-23BN in 2026, largely due to its low cost of operation, simplicity, and recent upgrades. Countries like Sudan, Syria, Libya, and even Angola have invested in locally supported upgrades. Some operators use the aircraft as advanced trainers for strike missions. Drone hunter platforms, surprising but true. Border patrolling aircraft in large desert or mountainous regions. Upward trend cost versus capability. Why it still makes sense. For many developing nations, the MiG-23BN is a good enough solution. When facing insurgents, lightly armed opponents, or controlling large swaths of difficult terrain, a high-speed strike aircraft with modern sensors and PGMs is more valuable than an expensive stealth jet. Operational cost per hour is significantly lower than most modern fighters, making it ideal for budget-conscious militaries. Gear the future, end of the line or another evolution. Is there a future beyond 2026 for the MiG-23BN? Realistically, its airframes are aging. Many are nearing the end of their flight hour limits, and the maintenance burden is growing. However, drone conversion programs are being tested by at least 2 air forces, where MiG-23BNs are turned into remotely operated strike drones, repurposing their speed and payload for one last role. Airplane final thoughts: a flying fossil with bite. In 2026, the MiG-23BN is proof that even old war machines can remain deadly with the right updates. It's not stealthy, not digital native, and not sleek, but it's fast, mean, and now surprisingly smart. From its roots in Soviet design philosophy to its rebirth in modern conflicts, the MiG-23BN remains one of the most fascinating aircraft still flying today. It may never be